The OASIS Institute is an organization that promotes healthy aging. During the month of May, they celebrate Older Americans Month. Joining me now from the OASIS Institute is Any VanDeVelde and Lindsey Bean-Kampwerth from Paraquad. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks so much,
Thank
Arika.
you. So two lovely organizations doing great things in the community, combining efforts to do what exactly?
We want to raise awareness and let people know that there's lots of different technologies that can help them to do things in their daily life better.
Especially when it comes to older Americans.
That's right.
For Older Americans
For Older
Month.
Americans Month, that is correct.
Because technology can be so intimidating.
For a lot of people it can be, and particularly people over 65. And so we have a program called Oasis Connections that a lot of people in St. Louis don't know about, that teaches people technology and helps them to use their technology better or to even start using technology.
So how did Paraquad get involved with Oasis?
Lindsey and I met.
Yeah.
And we decided that it would be great to work together.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so Lindsey is an expert in assistive technology, so I'll let you tell her tell you.
Yeah.
What does
she
it mean,
does.
So
Lindsey?
assistive technology is basically any device or anything that kind of helps someone do the things they want to do a little easier or independent, more independent. So, I mean, technically that definition can be the remote control that anyone uses.
Got it.
So when it comes to people with disabilities, sometimes there's extra technologies that help people do things independently. So tablets and iPhones and all that good stuff has become so popular, and there's sometimes people think, oh, it makes it all easier, but sometimes if you don't know how to interact with it well or how to make it work with you, it can be a little bit of a challenge and
frustrating,
right?
And
so how you said it's intimidating, it can be, but
Right.
really it's to help us all.
And just because you're talking about people living with disabilities doesn't mean that just because you're an older American that this can't help you.
Right, exactly.
So we have some examples
Yeah.
here just of the different types of technology. So let's start with the biggest one.
Yep, okay. So this is a full-size iPad.
Okay, that's an iPad.
Yep.
What is this?
This is an iPad mini, and so it's just a little bit smaller, but it's easier to read than if we look at Lindsey's iPhone.
So it's different screens.
Yep.
So if you can use the iPhone to literally call
Yep.
people. And I know this might sound like we're really just belaboring the point, but a lot of people don't really understand the difference.
Well, and many older Americans will say, I'm happy with my flip phone, and I'm fine with that. It's, if you like your flip phone and it's working for you, that's fine. What we want to make people aware of is that smartphones and tablets come with additional functionality that
Yes.
helps people. And so if you want to send a text, it's much more readable with a smartphone or tablet.
And if you wanted to interact with your children or your grandchildren,
Yeah.
you can't necessarily do that on a flip phone, but you can
Correct.
do that on these other types of mobile devices.
Well, an interesting thing for older Americans to consider is that many of us who are younger don't talk on the phone anymore. When my dad calls me or texts me, I should say, and says, could I hear your voice, please? I know that he wants a phone call and not necessarily
Well,
a
kudos
text.
to your dad for texting.
Yeah.
That's right. So he did learn how to do that, but in the beginning he wasn't very interested in it. But now that he can talk to the grandchildren more easily on the way that they communicate, it makes a lot more sense.
And it makes them feel empowered.
It really does.
Right. I was talking to my mom and she always says, I don't know how to do this, but yet she'll send me like a massive text. And it's like, Mom, you do know how to do it. And here's why. Here's a reason, because you have an accomplishment. I have a text to show that you know how to do it, but sometimes they just don't feel like they can do it.
Yeah.
That's right. And sometimes they get a device handed, we call them hand-me-ups, when a grandchild or a child gives them a device and they're kind of like, what do I do with this thing? But sometimes it's that they don't have to do everything that the device offers. Just do the things that are important and interesting to them.
And explore to see what it is that you can do, because you don't even know. When we come back, we'll talk about, you have a book.
We do.
Right, that you can download. That's a scary word for some, but you can print it out basically and really just learn more about these different mobile devices. We'll talk more about that in a second. So stay with us right here on STL Live. We'll have more on Older Americans Month right after this break.